In his many books, Seattle author Jack Olsen has chronicled bizarre and horrifying criminal behavior. His subjects have included Kevin Coe, the notorious South Hill rapist, self-styled mountain man and murderer Claude Dallas, and Dr. John Story, who may have raped as many as 100 of his patients in a small Wyoming town.
He also wrote about a man he called McDonald Smith, a man who stalked and raped dozens of women right here in the Seattle area. And his newest book, which will be released next year, is about a man who killed, was imprisoned, then paroled, and killed again. More than just telling stories, Jack has probed the minds of these individuals to try to understand why they do what they do. We will also try today to understand why we, his readers, are so fascinated by what these criminals do and how they behave. Please welcome Jack Olsen. Always great to have you here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
For you, of course, it has become a career, and so probably you're glad that we are fascinated by these people. But do you understand why we are so fascinated? Why are you so interested as an author?
I'm interested because I'm interested in human behavior. And I walked into a prison on a college field trip when I was 19 years old, and saw that everybody in there looked just like me. And it was an epiphany for me. I thought they would have fangs, you know, and they would look weird and bizarre, and they looked just like me. Since then, I've been fascinated, and it's been a kind of a common denominator in all of my books, not only about the crime, but about the criminal and how he became what he is.
Let's talk for just a second about your latest subject, and that's Arthur Shawcross, Rochester, New York, serial killer. Tell us a little bit about him. Who is he?
Well, he turns out to be the most complex of all. He is, well, to sketch him what he did, he killed 2 children, sex crimes, sex killings, beat the rap in a sense because he was only sentenced for manslaughter, served only 15 years, should have served life, got out, and then killed 11 women, and then was caught. What's fascinating to me about Arthur Shawcross, he's almost the culmination of all my work, and I worked on him for 26 months to try to figure these things out. He's not just a sociopath. They're almost all sociopathic, but it turns out that he's much more than that. I mean, what Arthur Shawcross has taught me is don't jump to the glib conclusion. There was a psychiatrist who was paid $96,000 by the state of New York to testify at Shawcross's trial that Shawcross was a sociopath. You and I could have determined that in 3 minutes and collected the money. After he got off the witness stand, others continued to investigate Arthur Shawcross, and they found out not only was he a sociopath, he had brain damage, he had neurological damage, he had genetic deficits, he had biochemical deficits. One doctor described him as a berry of emotions. So it taught me, you know, don't jump to the simplest thing right away. Look a little deeper.
How much can you learn about these people, Jack, by talking with them directly, or will they respond with directness and honesty to your questions?
You don't learn very much by talking to them directly. If you talk to Max Smith, who's in the book that I now have out, you'd come away thinking, heck of a nice guy, I'd like to have a beer with him tomorrow at the bar, and like to go fishing with him, like to introduce him to my wife and my daughter. Wonderful guy, raped 55 women, and did some other equally horrendous things.
And I want to note, too, that after the next break, we will be listening to some conversation with Kevin Coe so that people have an opportunity to hear exactly what it is you're talking about. How slippery are these guys, and why?
Well, they're extremely, totally slippery, but they don't seem so. See, that's where the Silence of the Lambs went wrong, from my standpoint. Silence of the Lambs is a wonderful piece of work, wonderful movie, wonderful book. But don't go there expecting to learn anything about the sociopath, because within a few minutes of your first view of Hannibal Lecter, you realize, uh-oh, there's something wrong. But with your first few minutes of talking to a sociopath like Kevin Coe, like McDonald Smith, like Arthur Shawcross, you don't get that feeling of dread at all. You get the feel.
They're just nice people.
They're good guys, you know. They're doing their quintessential act, giving you what you want to hear.
So somebody like the Green River killer is in all likelihood living quietly in the community someplace and doesn't appear any different than you or me.
And when he's found, and I don't think he will be, but if he were found, people would say, oh, he never caused any problems in the neighborhood. He kind of kept to himself, etc. All the things that we hear all the time.
All the time,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jody has a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, what about Jeffrey Dahmer? What do you think of him?
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't interest me as much as the others because, to use a clinical term, Jeffrey Dahmer is bug house. Jeffrey Dahmer is a screaming maniac. He also is sociopathic, which simply means he has no conscience, he has no feelings, he can't feel your pain, he has no empathy. But he's also, I mean, how can he be anything but clinically insane? You know, the serial killers, generally speaking, don't have any motive. They just kill for their own pleasure. But to take it beyond into pickling the bodies and all these things that we can't even talk about, there's got to be a screw loose.
And yet, you know, they found him competent to stand trial and put him away rather than treat him.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
Well, I make of that the legal definition of insanity is very simple and probably should be exactly what it is, that they have the ability to know the difference between right and wrong and to know the consequences of their acts, and he certainly did. But beyond that, bug house.
Okay. Take a short pause. Now, Jack wrote a very powerful book about one of the most deceptive rapists ever to stalk women here in the Northwest, and he soon may be again up for parole. We're going to talk about Kevin Coe when we come back.